This is an imaginary opening theme song. Oh. Hello there, and welcome. Today we're gonna react to a video that was posted about a week ago, where a big Twitch streamer by the name of HasanAbi said something about people, streaming versus real jobs, and then Asmongold also reacted to it and tried to, explain what possibly Hasan meant when he was commenting and whatnot and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see. I wanted to do it from his reaction because we can hear a different person's perspective on it, who is also like a well-known streamer, and then we'll talk about what I think and whatnot and my thoughts. Okay. So let's go, shall we?
I actually wasn't even planning on streaming today. I was like, I think I'm gonna just take the day off. But I started reading Twitter. I was like, man, there's a lot of retards. Like, we gotta talk about this. Millionaire streamer Hasan Piker claims that a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you in the same way that streaming will. And the funny thing about this is that this kid goes and he says this to try to fucking throw up a white flag. He's like, no, I'm actually on your side. I agree with them. Bro, quit the fucking capping. This kid is lying. You're lying. What do you mean you agree with this tweet when you preface it by saying millionaire streamer? You really think that we don't you think I haven't spent the last 20 years seeing Fox News do this shit? Seeing CNN do this shit? He definitely is trying to roast the shit out of him. What are we talking about?
Who would watch
what a
that?
little rat. I can't believe this. It's like this guy goes and farms a bunch of hate. My message to Hasan fans, get a job.
I mean, to be fair though, I don't think this person thought that this tweet would blow up the way it did. It has 1.5 million views on it. I'm just saying, I don't think they thought that they would get that much traction and whatnot. At least not that many views and stuff like that. So, who knows?
But then he agrees with the tweet. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What a little rat! This guy farms hate on Hasan. He gets 15 people from Hasan's chat saying, I don't agree with you. You took it out of context. And then he's got to make a follow-up.
By the way, Asmongold also always, accepts that he does farm people. That is true,
Tweet about it. Oh no, stop bullying me. He changed his mind because Destiny said he agrees with Hasan. TC Brady is in Destiny's Discord.
Sheesh. And if it only takes one person
to know that it wasn't
mind,
really a principled stance. Let's listen to what Hasan says. And this is the clip that's taken apparently out of context. And we'll watch the full context in a minute, okay?
Okay, let me... There you go. Okay.
Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired. But a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will. So...
Okay,
yes.
So that's the original clip?
Yeah. There's always a lot to unpack there and whatnot, isn't there? And stuff, It's more that the comparison that he's for sure, he's very serious when he kind of looks like he's very serious when he says, for sure this is how it is, real jobs versus streaming versus soul draining and whatnot.
And there's apparently there's a clip here. It's a 2-minute clip.
But first we'll listen to what he thought, and then I'll
what
say
actually
my thoughts
was said.
Okay, this is what actually was said. Okay, let's see.
No. Social battery wise, unless you're in retail, unless you're in fucking retail, it's very different. You're out of touch. I'm gonna die, dude. There's motherfuckers who are accountants in here, and they're misunderstanding what I'm saying. A real job does not expend your social battery in the same fucking way as someone who did a sales job, a real job, okay? I'm telling you, As someone who did both, like 9 hours of cost.
I think if he gave a bit more context there, it would have been better. Like when he says he did both, okay, how long did you do the other job for? Because sometimes, I don't know if you know this, guys, but sometimes people say they've done something, and like even if they worked for like a few hours or even 1 to 2 hours in one job, they'll still say they worked that job. So it would have helped him a little bit if he, you know, like said how long he did the other job for, if he's gonna say as someone who did both jobs, you know. I'm just saying, could have helped him a little bit, not a whole lot, but a little bit.
Constant performance and people pleasing taps you out from social scenarios. After 9 hours of that, I could probably do fucking physical labor. It would not bother me, but I can't fucking do more social shit. That's my point.
I'm gonna say one.
Like,
I mean,
there are obviously real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people-pleasing jobs would be very similar. Those are like, I think, customer service type shit. But like if you're an accountant, or if you're even like in sales, my interactions with clients was limited, way more limited than like constantly having to do this.
I don't know why he keeps saying accountant. Accountants deal with people, you know, like especially when people don't file their taxes properly, and then they go to accountant, and the accountant has to like figure out how to actually salvage the situation, and then they yell at their accountant like, oh, why did you do this, blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, dude, I did nothing, you did the mess up, and now I'm trying to fix your mess up. Like, calm down, okay? I don't know.
This for 9 hours with like a back and forth interaction for 9 hours. That's what like sucks your social battery, and you just tap out after it.
But here's the thing though, I wonder, just because I've never watched his streams, I wonder just how much he actually responds to his chat, because you know what they say, the more the viewers there are, the more like the streamer actually will not be able to read every single message, because, you know, first of all, they go very fast because there's a lot of people typing, right? Even if you have slow mode, right? Like if 30 people typed at the same time, it's going to make the chat go whoop up, and then you won't be able to read everything that's being said in the first place, you know. So I don't even know how much, you know, like how often he interacts with his own chat, or like how many messages he reads from his own chat while he's doing whatever he's doing, you know? Because a lot of the times, like I said, if you go to bigger streams, you don't really expect them to actually, like, respond to you. Even if you do the @ whatever the streamer's name is, right? You don't actually believe that they'll respond to what you're saying, you know? Just saying.
Yeah, think about it this way. Like, you give presentations for your job, right?
Maybe.
Imagine giving a presentation for 9 hours straight. It's like, after a while, you would be like, I don't want to talk.
Or the department manager just occasionally is just like, hey, you suck, bitch!
I mean, sometimes you don't even want to talk after like 5 minutes of doing something anyway, so, you know, you don't have to be in it for hours either. Sometimes people just really don't like talking and stuff like that, and then after 5 minutes, they're all like, okay, if you don't understand what I'm saying, I don't care, bye-bye.
Bald ass bitch, you fell off, huh? We're gonna remember this in your performance review.
Oh no, not the review.
You fat fuck.
Anything but the review, please.
Stupid ass bitch.
Oh no.
Ever again.
So people getting mad. It's a bad take. What's it a bad take of? He says that he gets exhausted socially because he's talking to people for 9 hours a day. You really think that's not true?
I mean, it is true to a certain degree.
I mean, you really think it's not true that after you spend 9 hours being investigated by thousands of people with every facial movement, everything you say, every word, with people constantly trying to disagree with you and fight with you.
That's
not emotionally, or sorry, like socially draining.
It is, yeah.
This is totally understandable. And he's not comparing it to every other job. He's saying compared to other jobs where you're not talking to people constantly. His take is...
I mean, he kind of did generalize a lot, though, right? When he said it's and whatnot. Because he was all like, you know, unlike real job, except for retail and stuff. Like, even sales, you don't interact that much. So, yeah, he kind of, you know, like, you know, he said, except for retail, every other job was like, well, no. And plus, he used the word real job. What is real job supposed to mean in that context? Because, like, streaming is also a job. Or are you saying streaming is not a job? Or is streaming not considered a real job? Because technically, a lot of people sure don't, you know, view streaming as a job. Even if there are people that say they do make a living out of it, there are still some people till this day that will never agree that this is a job. Yeah, sure. There are people like that. That is true. And whatnot. But if you're going to say streaming versus real jobs, you're trying to put streaming in a different kind of bubble, you know, instead of just like putting all of them together and just saying like, you know, this job is soul draining for me. And then that's it, you know, like it's not necessary for you to say quote unquote real job. You are also, you know, in a job working. You're more self-employed compared to other jobs, sure, because, you know, like no one, you know, gave you money to become a streamer. Although then again, maybe some people do for other people, right? But in reality, most people do not get offered money to start streaming. They start streaming because they seem interested in it, and then they start it themselves. So they are self-employed and whatnot. So there's a lot of, you know, no. Like, there was no reason, though, for him to add real jobs. Like, if you're going to use that word, then does that mean you don't view streaming as a real job? What do you view streaming as? Like, why are you trying to put streaming in a separate kind of bubble like that? I don't know. I don't know. If it's a job, it's a job. Okay.
Isn't broad enough. Yeah, it is. He explained it pretty clearly. The clip out of context was posted 30 minutes after he said that. Instantly on Reddit, it blew up calling him a dumbass, which just reinforces his argument. Well, yeah, it's definitely understandable. Exactly. Just think nobody knows what's really socially draining. Well, not saying it isn't, but it's not as bad as others.
Yeah. There is a drain, yes.
I think that, like, true. So streaming as, like, a job is extremely socially draining.
Yeah. But see, even you said it as a job.
That's why, like, there's a weird catch-22 where a lot of streamers are introverted, but being a streamer requires you to do a lot of things that extroverts want you to do.
Depends on who you are.
So, like, in order to be good at something...
You know, depends on who you are, though. That is also kind of true. You know, like, some streamers that say nothing and they just play, they have a lot of viewers because, you know, they're, like, on professional level and they don't really interact with their own chat. They don't really say anything. Some of them are just, like, fully focused on the game, and then people are... still go and watch them and even type in their chats because they're all like, you know, like, oh bro, you blew my mind with how you did that move, you know, like, wow, and stuff like that, you know. Depends on what kind of streamer you are. Like, it's weird if you go to just chatting and the streamer is not talking to just chatting. You know, but sometimes you expect people to actually not talk to you if you go and watch them play a game, if they need to, like, actually focus on what's happening in the gameplay and stuff like that. Or if they're in the middle of a cutscene, you know, it's pretty normal for people to, like, not talk to you during that and whatnot, stuff like that. But yeah, streaming is definitely, though, something that, you know, extroverts can do, but also introverts can get away with doing it, depending on, you know, how much effort they're willing to put in. And by effort, I mean not, like, constantly talking, but just, like, effort in letting their presence be known, you know. Like, for instance, there are people that stream, but they don't talk at all. And that's totally fine. You know, sometimes they just use their own chats and just type responses to people to let them know that they do see what they're saying and whatnot. Depends on how you want to, you know, go and and, you know, actually do your streaming journey. I don't know.
You have to be one way, and in order to cope with it, the success of being good with it, good at it, you have to be another way.
Copium.
And so that's what it is. Hasan's basically explaining that in a more, you know, direct way. You could say a simpler way. And he's getting shit on. But a lot of people think they're introverted whenever they're actually extroverts. Well, I don't know about that. Did you start the stream?
Yeah, because he tried to like separate for some reason very strictly streaming versus real jobs, and that's caused the conflict for a lot of people. You know, because apparently, like, I didn't know this, but this was mentioned somewhere else as well. Like, Hasan is from a very wealthy family, so, you know, even if he did work a job, people don't really, you know, like, put much, like, they don't really expect him to say much other than, you know, when it comes to jobs and whatnot, you know, because there's some people that had to, you know, work from way young and whatnot, and then there's sometimes the, you know, the people that enjoy the wealth thanks to their family and whatnot, that, you know, might have gone to a job, but who knows how long they did the job for. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know him really, so, you know, I'm not saying that he, you know, didn't work, because he said he did, but it would have helped him a little bit better if he was going to say something like that, to also say for how long he worked the other job. You know?
Right into this? Yeah, because I usually spend the first hour of my stream talking about nothing. And like, then I don't like play video games until like it's midnight or like 5 hours into the stream. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, DJ
like,
hours.
We gotta get this shit done. Like, there's a lot of stuff to talk about today. I don't have time to fucking sit around and talk about like, oh, I went live late today because my back hurt. Oh my god. We really need to hear about this again?
I mean, you can say it, but a lot of people are not going to care about it. You know?
So, yeah.
Well, at least take care of yourself, though.
Like, yeah, we're not going to get into that again. Having streaming as a job's an exhausting situation. Yeah, of course it is, right? Hasan is right. People are just reactionary. They absolutely are. Someone actually said, real job, what does that mean?
Not the best.
A real job is a job that you have. Bullshit jobs are the ones that other people have. It's just that simple. It's quite trendy and quite frankly easy to shit on Hasan. That's the crux of it all. Well, hey, if it's so easy to shit on him, then why are you making up fake reasons to do it? If he's got so many bad takes and he says all this stuff that's wrong, then why not focus on that rather than taking something that's totally understandable and then turning it into something that it's not?
It's just his framing, once again, you know, that's the real problem, you know. Like, it's not like they're not saying stuff to him, you know, is what he's saying, you know, when it's just the way he said it, you know. Like, he could have very easily said, streaming is a draining job, and that's it. But again, he took it to a way weird atmosphere when he included real jobs into that, so yeah.
He makes thousands of dollars a day. Him making takes, trying to relate to normal working people is fucking stupid. Well, there are normal working people that also make thousands of dollars a day.
Relate to people.
So, like, I don't really understand, like, what your point is. Yeah, I mean, what do you mean? It's a stupid comparison. Yeah, like, what?
I feel like the things people should you know, take care of is that don't try to relate to others. Just say something, and if someone can relate to you, they will, you know. Like, you could, for instance, you could say, you know, like, I like to drink orange juice without pulp, you know, and whatnot. Just say random stuff, you know, and then people that will that, you know, like, feel that, they will say, oh yeah, I'm the same, I can relate to you, you know, and stuff like that. You know, you don't always have to, like, specifically try to say something to make everyone relate with you. You can just, like, use a lot of sentences, just say whatever you want to say, and then if they relate to you, they'll show it with their own actions as well. You know, you could have done that. That's what I'm saying. He could have also just very easily said, streaming is draining. That's it.
Like, you think streamer is the only job that you can make a lot of money in?
No.
I have tons of friends that make tons of money. And a lot of them aren't streamers.
Yeah. Well, not everyone is a streamer.
Like, that's... Yeah, what the fuck? No. It's chatter can't think past 2.
Yeah. Although, imagine though, everyone is a streamer and then there's no one providing us anything. And it's just like all the robots are doing the other jobs. Like everyone's at home streaming to the other people, and then all the robots just took over, and then they're just doing all the jobs and stuff like that. You know, they're in the market, they're in the street, they're in like everywhere else. And we're just all at home, you know, just streaming and never going out. Oh, yeah. And I bet you some people, when I said that, thought that was utopia. And some instantly thought that was dystopia. But which one did I mean in the context? Who knows? You know, that's for you to decide. I'm just saying it to say it.
Oh, exactly. They're not normal anymore. Well, I think that is normal as in, like, they don't work in entertainment. Right? They don't work in entertainment. Why do people assume that money solves all your issues and doesn't drain you? Well, hey,
I mean, money solves most issues.
Kanye West said it.
You know, I would like money.
He said that there. I was gonna make a joke, but I figured.
You know, I would not say no to money. Okay, if you're someone that can say no to money, then well, you must be doing good for yourself. Good job.
Actually, you know what? We'll give that another 6 months before I make those jokes.
Okay.
He said, having money isn't everything, but not having it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is problematic.
I think that's really the truth, right? That's it. So, like, if you don't have money, that's everything in your life. If you do have money, you realize that there are other problems in life that are also important. But if you don't have that, money is going to mean more to you than almost anything else.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Basically, having money gives you the luxury to then be able to worry about something else. In a sense, depending on how much you have, of course, because of course there are people that, you know, barely make ends meet and all that and stuff like that. But I'm saying the ones that, you know, don't have to worry about, like, if they get a little bit extra from the bill that they expected, they still have, you know, enough to not be too concerned of why there was a slight rise in the price and whatnot, you know, and then they're able to worry about different stuff as well, you know, that kind of situation.
Streamer doesn't make a lot of money. When you actually normalize the salary, engineers, doctors, people in trades make median more than a streamer. Streaming is extremely top heavy. Well, of course it is. And
I mean, not every
there are
streamer
a lot
is
of
rich.
people that are grinding away and they stream 8 hours a day and they get, let's say, 300 viewers, 500 viewers.
If only.
They make $100,000 a year.
If only, man.
Let's be very, very optimistic here. They make $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
And, like, I'll be real. If somebody was making that much money and, you know, like, it was like, is this really a good idea for you to do this? Probably not.
Depends on your
$100,000
spending.
is still a lot. It is a lot,
Depending on
but
your
whenever
spending,
you think
honestly.
about the fact that streaming is just so transient. Like, for example, you can get banned.
Yeah, true.
Oh,
and then you lose
well,
it all.
now you're banned. Now
That's
what?
why they say have different
Like,
platforms.
all of your job
so you don't have to,
experience, everything that you
you know,
did,
instantly be like, oh,
it's
no, why
completely
now?
different. Like, you have like a 3-year gap in employment. You have like this online presence that, you know, creates a context in which people see you. So, yeah, you can get fired. Exactly. No, yeah, you definitely can get fired. But the difference is that...
Yeah, yeah. Firing does happen, yeah. I mean, sometimes you just get fired straight out. Like, they'd... Like how, like how I find it so funny, though, when I was going to my job to work, right? All I got was, like, a few hours before just saying that you should go see someone at the office. And I was all like, okay. You know, I didn't really think much of it. And then when I got to the office, you know, and I was ready to go to work because I was dressed up and stuff because I didn't expect it. And they were all like, yeah, by the way, you're fired. And I'm like, huh? You know? They just got me like, huh? What do you mean I'm fired? What? Why couldn't you have told me this? Like, what? Like, where was the warning or anything? And, you know, sheesh.
Like streaming,
it can happen.
There are jobs that exist in entertainment that streaming helps you understand and learn. That's definitely true. But at the same time, there are also a lot of people, and I think in most traditional jobs, those people don't really have the same opportunities. It's like, for example,
see, this is a slight problem, okay? When you say traditional jobs, why is there such a divide, right? Just say jobs. You know, don't try to divide it too much, because technically the only reason why we have jobs is because, you know, people made society be in a way that, you know, if you need help, right, you get it from people that, you know, quote unquote have that job. Jobs come out from necessity, you know, like it's not like, you know, if you do something and the other person does something, but it's two separate things, that doesn't mean their job is not a job because of whatever, yada yada yada, you know. The more you try to separate jobs, or the more you like use words that kind of separate jobs from each other, is like, I'm not saying every job is going to be at the same level. Obviously, you know, some are going to be way worse than others. Some are going to be, you know, like more easier to do, or at least the conditions behind them are much easier. For instance, right, you see the guy just being in his room, sitting down, you know, just talking and whatnot, just playing games perhaps and whatnot, right? And they're in the safety of their own house and stuff like that. So you're all like, okay, that's better than me going outside in the winter cold and, you know, like freezing and whatnot while trying to like shovel that snow, or like trying to do whatever it is outside that I'm trying to do, right? And whatnot. It also beats having to go inside a fridge and try to prepare salads when you're working a fast food job. I'm just saying. You know, even though they gave you like a sweater to do it, they literally wanted you to go inside a fridge and make salads, and then you were just trying to do it as fast as you can and as like as good looking as you can, because you don't want to be in the fridge, because, you know, like going into a fridge seems nice, you know, but it's, you take the risk of, you know, getting sick real quick in a way, especially if you're doing it in the summer, because, you know, summer heat, and then you expose yourself to cold air for a while, and then you go back to summer heat, like, you know, the difference in temperature might hit you, and that might make you go sick, and then you're like, oh no, I can't go to work because and then they're like, oh yeah, bye-bye, you're fired. You're like, no.
If you work as an accountant and you get fired from one place, it's not going to be as hard to get another job as an accountant versus
because
if
accountants are
you work
needed
on Twitch and
especially
you stream on Twitch,
good.
you get banned on Twitch, it's probably going to be a lot harder for you to transition over to YouTube or Kick. That's my point, right? There's negative externalities if a streamer wants
Depends
to get a real
on where
job.
you
Yeah, of
have
course.
your posts on.
And so
sure.
it's really not that complicated. But anyway, yeah, so Hasan said this today, and naturally everybody is congratulating themselves about, here's a dumbass clip, Hasan being welcomed into the emo community. Oh yeah, I did. Oh yeah, he did the emo. I saw that with that Johnny guy. I looked at that earlier. And so there's a lot of people, streaming is literally the easiest part of being a content creator. You just sit down, make money, just spawns in. It's just so goddamn free. Who is this?
I mean, if only, man, if only, honestly. You know? So sometimes when you see these comments, you're like, oh, okay, well, then what am I doing wrong, right? I'm sitting down, I'm streaming, and then I don't really have much viewers. And then you're like, well, maybe you're just terrible. And then also maybe just because people really do care about numbers a lot. You never know.
This guy, does he stream? They have 400 viewers.
It's pretty good.
Streaming is easy. Being good at streaming is hard. Hopefully now he understands. I understand, obviously, there's a lot of people. Bad take. No, isn't 400 viewers good? Oh, it's definitely good. But you're not going to go and tell somebody who's one of the top streamers on the entire platform that it's easy. Do you really think that Hasan's experience and this random's experience is going to be the same streaming? That's insane. Of course 400
I mean, no one's experience is truly gonna ever be the exact same, and no one's gonna have like the exact same things happen to them. And when case in point, you know, like someone may start it, like two people can start, like let's say A and B started at the exact same time. They did all the exact same, you know, games, content, whatever, but A rose to like way much higher of a point than B. And why was that? Well, because they're two different people and they experience stuff differently, and they had their views on, you know, regarding stuff differently. So yeah, even in the example he gave, like the one that said that, right, has 400 and Hasan has more viewers, so of course it's going to be different experience and whatnot.
100 viewers is good, but don't go talk to somebody who gets 20,000 regularly and act like you're on the same level, because you're not. All streamers have some kind of cope. Well, what's the cope here? I mean, I'm not really sure if I'm understanding this. You say people disagree with his take on the whole job thing, made up fake reason to shit on him for it. When you added a word to his take socially, it does a lot of heavy lifting, unless I miss some context, kind of disingenuous. Well, he's talking about socially. Like, the reason why I'm saying that is because that's what he's saying.
Yeah, he says social battery.
So, for example, like, if I listen to the clip, right? Like, you just listen to the first few seconds of the clip.
No. Social battery-wise, unless you're in
So, I'm not
social
using
battery,
the word. I listen to the clip. That's all.
Also, retail is not the only job that needs socialness to happen. You know, so, I mean, there are a lot of horror stories, and it's funny though. Like, there are a lot of horror stories regarding retail, but most of the time, people actually don't believe that happens until they themselves get the retail job, and then they themselves experience stuff, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, it was true all along. This is bad." Or then some people actually get luck out, and they don't really experience anything crazy. You know, whether maybe it's just, you know, they never come across it, or maybe they just hear, you know, someone else while they're clocking out tell their story, and then their shift was fairly normal. You never know. Like I said, it's like, like even if you work the same job as someone, your experience is never going to be the same as someone else's, you know, because you yourself have your own opinions.
It's not hard.
And you do other stuff and other actions.
I think most people made up their mind on something like this before they listened to it.
No, it's because he used the real jobs.
So whenever they have to hear context that makes their original assumption wrong, they're getting mad at me.
Because even with more context, it doesn't sound that well.
It's like a supermodel saying they have a harder job than a catalog model. Well, I'm not really sure. Hasan's an artist. His father famous for being Young Turks. Everybody always has their opinion about Hasan.
See, that's the point where I said apparently he's
and I understand that you might not like things that Hasan has said on his stream. There are things that he might have said that have upset you, that have made you mad, that you don't like. Why not focus?
I mean, people get mad if you sneeze and it's too loud. People get mad at anything, honestly.
On the real ones. Why are you inventing things that didn't happen and then getting mad about them?
I mean,
it makes you look stupid.
They didn't invent it. It's just, you know.
If you have all of these problems with somebody, then it doesn't seem very legitimate whenever you have to make up new problems that don't actually exist. That's what my opinion is. They're soft, yes. The guys are making what's this here? A career. Just, these guys are making a career being bitter. Isn't that pathetic? Oh yeah, absolutely. The area of conversation with politics is more draining than some other types of streaming. Oh yeah. Hasan didn't start from zero. Who cares if he did? Very few people start really from zero. Most people have advantages, and I'll tell you one thing. If you're able to be talking in this chat, you didn't start from zero either. Yeah, There's people in the world that don't have an internet connection, and you do. But somehow you're going to be complaining about how you can't fix your life, and those people who don't have an internet connection are working to get one. So you can complain and cry about, oh, Hasan got in, he's a Young Turks, his uncle worked there, and all these things can be true. But the reality is that all of us have different degrees of privilege. That's why we're here. Do you really think that somebody without privilege, without any privilege, is going to be sitting at 9 p.m. watching a video game stream? Get the fuck out of here.
They're able to do it. They're able to
Come
do it
on.
for whatever reason.
What are you thinking? Being alive is a privilege. Oh, yeah, for sure. And also, people can't control, this is the other thing. People can't control the circumstances that they're born under. Whether that means if they're disabled, whether that means if they're white, black, male, female, gay, not gay, straight, I guess you could say.
Unless they can figure out a body swap
whether they're
with people.
poor, whether they're rich, whether they're short, whether they're tall. So I find it to be odd that we all agree that it's generally not a good idea to make fun of people for things that they can't control, but somehow people have no problem demonizing a person because they had advantages that they also couldn't control either.
Okay.
Wasn't really a principled stance. Let's listen to what Hasan says, and this is the clip that's taken apparently out of context, and we'll watch the full context.
Okay, let's go back to this part and listen to what he says again.
Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will.
Yeah, see, this is the thing, you know, if like, why are you saying that so confidently, and why are you using real jobs as an example, right? You could have just easily said streaming is a job that socially drains you, you know, and it would not have raised, you know, this many eyebrows, I would say, you know, people wouldn't be like, hey, wait a minute, what is he even saying, and stuff like that. And then the end of the day, you know, point is, he feels that streaming is draining, yes, and, you know, it is true, you know, what if you put effort into anything, it's going to drain you one way or another. Depends on how much effort you put in, or what you're putting the effort into, or how you're doing it. Like, if you're putting in a lot of effort to, like, a physical job, right, that will make you feel sore, or you'll feel very, like, energyless that way. But also, if you're just doing something that requires you to be very social, right, throughout an extended period of time, you will also feel pretty tired. Yes, just depends on how much. Like, I don't know about you guys, but the human body, in a way, you know, like, a lot of people sometimes when they have those days, right, that they did nothing, right, like, you didn't really do anything, you maybe you didn't even get out of bed, right, but then you still feel tired. Like, we feel tired. So it's not that it's wrong for him to feel tired of what he does and whatnot. That's not the thing that's wrong. It's just the way he said it, and delivery that was not the best. But that is his own opinion. He can have it. Anyone can have their own opinion. That's why people are, you know, like, raising eyebrows, or like trying to tell him why he's so, you know, like, such a baka for having this kind of mindset and stuff like that, right? You know, people are going to have opinions, and this is my opinion on this. Streaming can be draining, and it depends on how draining it is, depends on who you are. If you're naturally introverted and you feel like streaming takes a lot of energy from you, way more than, like, let's say, extroverts, because they're a little bit more, you know, willing to talk, then, you know, you will feel the drain, yes. And even if you, like, let's say, do a stream for like 2-3 hours, you'll still feel pretty drained. Because, you know, you're trying to keep your attention on your chat if you can, and then on your game if you're playing a game, or whatever it is you're doing. You know, your attention is divided. So, of course, you're going to feel a little bit tired after doing all that. Yes. Yes. Point is, we can agree streaming is a job. Let's agree on that, at least. You know, and it can be draining. Indeed, indeed, indeed. But, like, people really need to stop, you know, trying to generalize it so much, and then try to split it, and, like, real jobs, or, like, traditional jobs, or yada yada jobs. Point is a job a job? Yes. Is there different difficulty levels of a job? Yes. You know, like for instance, a fast food job, right? If you're the only employee that's running around doing everything, and then you look at your other coworkers and they're literally doing nothing and they don't even help you out when you ask them for help, and then, you know, the boss gets mad at you because, you know, stuff isn't getting done, you know, that's pretty demoralizing, and it will tire you in a different way. You know, and then there's other jobs that require you to, you know, work at them for like 12 hours, and basically the only other part of your life you get is you just going to sleep and eat, and then that's it. You know, every job has different difficulty settings. Okay. So, you know, instead of trying to like separate the jobs like this and this and this and this and this, just say, you know, your job, it's sometimes tires you out, but you know, you're fine with it, or you know, you just feel tired, that's it. And whatnot, and then this wouldn't be a debacle and whatnot. But then again, either way, even if people like say he, you know, so such a baka or stupid for saying all this, you know, it's not going to change the fact that he is successful in what he's doing. He has a lot of viewers, you know. The same thing with Asmongold. He also is successful in what he's doing, you know. And all of their experiences compared to everyone else in the chat and all the other stuff are going to be different. You know, everything is going to be different for everyone else. But yeah, that's just my take on this, you know, whole shebang, debacle and whatnot. Point is, you know, just calm down, guys, okay? Just calm down. Anyways, it doesn't matter though. Like, this will be forgotten, you know. We're in a new month. It'll be quickly forgotten, then it'll probably come up saying something else, and then people will be like, what did you say? Type thing. So it doesn't really matter. But yeah, remember guys, hydrate when you need to, sleep when you need to, eat when you need to, and take care of yourselves, guys, and I'll see you again in whatever form and shape I am. But yeah, for now, bye-bye. Bye-bye.